Wow. Zach, I didn't think that I would be having this conversation with you. Cows lose 31-14. And we were talking pre-show and it's like, Zach, these are the games that after you lose a game like this, where you feel like you're better than the Bears, who literally just gave up had to let go of 52 points. They were 0-2. They came in here. Well, you went to their place. Ben Johnson, first year coach. It wasn't going great for them. And all they do is, whether you like it, love it, or hate it, they blow you out. I don't know. As I've tried to gather my thoughts, and we'll recap the game, I kind of don't know how to feel about this team because you don't want to completely jump off the ledge, Zach, but this was one of the more disappointing losses I can remember. How you feeling about it, Zach? Well, first of all, Zach, before we just get straight into doom and gloom, how you doing, buddy? You just were at the beach, right?
Yeah. I just got back from the beach. That was good. Kind of clearing my mind a little bit, and now it's back to a disaster. All right, after the Cowboys game, but it's been good. I hate that we have to go the entire week and then go talk about the Green Bay game, going into it with a loss.
Oh yeah,
but as we're gonna break it down, it was rough, and I'm sure everybody in the comments feels probably the same way that we do.
Yeah. I'll just start here. So how we're going to do this, guys, is we'll give our recap. We'll kind of talk about some keys of the game. And then we'll just talk about, honestly, like the outlook. And for me, so we'll both do a recap. So for me, I'll just be honest with you guys. Starting off this game, going down 7-3, the first touchdown was Rome Odunze right past Trayvon Diggs. So the first thing I want to say is, everybody and their mom called for more man coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That was man coverage. That was, I want to say, Eberflus tried to send pressure on that rep. I can't remember for sure. Zach, chat box, correct me if I'm wrong. And listen, let's be honest. The pass rush hasn't been great. So if Matt, he's going to have to send more sim pressures. They're not going to fire Matt Eberflus. It's not going to happen. You don't fire a coordinator after 3 games. With the personnel that you have, that's not going to happen, guys. You keep switching coordinators. This is what you get. This is what you get. And I think the only reason why the offense is smoother, but we'll talk about that, is because, Shotty's been in this building. But anyway, a lot of people had smoke for me when it came to Diggs, but let's be honest. What if Matt Eberflus isn't playing zone because he just doesn't trust Elam? What if he isn't playing man because he just doesn't trust Elam or Diggs? In all seriousness, I give Diggs a hard time, and the only reason why is because I believe he should be better. He's been paid to be better. So, as I digress, going back to that play, that's man coverage. Mano y mano, that's your man. Diggs slipped. Well, on a stat sheet, it doesn't say the corner slipped. On a stat sheet, it says you were in coverage. Rome Odunze ran right past you. Touchdown. Then we go back, Zach, to the flea flicker, which to me, that's just Ben Johnson saying, we know that we are not getting stops right now because the Cowboys offense was humming. And for the life of me, Zach, I don't want to take up all the points, but for the life of me, it just felt like Shotty at times just got away from the run game, but the offense was humming. So what does Ben Johnson do? Dial up the long flea flicker, boom. And then it just from there, the Cowboys couldn't get stops. Caleb was comfortable. They had the long drive. They had the 2-minute drive right after the when they had that 2-minute drive. They had that 2-minute drive right after the 2-minute drive right before halftime, Zach.
Yep.
Just walk down the field. That was one of those plays where, like, everybody was wide open. I was like, I couldn't believe that. Like, wow. So, Zach, a recap for me, defense is bad, but offense also needed to be better. Pickens, drop. Williams, I gave you love, but then you get roughed off on a long run for a fumble. And then CD goes down. Zach, what do you think recap-wise where things just kind of went awry?
I felt like that first drive and a half for the Cowboys, on defense, they got the 3 and out. And then Javonte Williams has like a 5, 6, 7-yard run, good hard run. Then he breaks off that.
Love his energy, by the way.
Up to that point, I know it wasn't very long into the game. We're looking like 12 minutes into the game. That is how I thought they were going to win. They were going to be able to get some stops on defense. The offense was going to be able to run the ball. That would help facilitate the passing game. And that fumble is when it all started sliding down. I mean, it was pretty much the entire game, but I think of that as like, if they were going to lose, that is exactly how they were going to lose. The offense wasn't going to be perfect. You know, maybe the defense, if you turn the ball over on offense and the defense can maybe get a stop, you can do some things. But the defense, we know, cannot get a stop. They gave up the 7. Dallas, I'm pretty sure, went down, kicked the field goal. They score another touchdown, go up 14-3. At that point, like, it's just impossible, I feel like, for your offense to play perfect for 4 quarters every single time. Can't have any slip-ups. And the defense just, it's all over the place. It's players and scheme. I think it's a really, really bad combination of both of those. And that puts pressure on the offense and Brian Schottenheimer feeling like he's got to press things. You know, you can't score 100 points with one play, but it feels like you have to because you know you can't get stops defensively. So how they lost is exactly how I imagined it. Ben Johnson went and watched the tape of these guys on plays down the field, what the corners are doing, getting lost in the backfield, staring at the quarterback, guys getting behind them. And Matt Eberflus is in a really tough spot because I don't think people understand, he has had good defenses. Like, he was good in Indianapolis. That's why he got a head coaching job with Chicago to start with. Like, he had good defenses. But the problem is I don't think you have the players to switch things up because, like you said, does he trust Diggs? And does he trust Elam in man coverage? I mean, based on the one that he ran with Diggs when he flipped, I mean, that's not a confidence builder. You know, like, oh, we try something different, immediately burnt. I feel like Eberflus is in a tough spot because it's hard for him to change his philosophy and what has worked for him all these years in the NFL and then not have the guys to do it.
Yeah. I love the way that Dak Prescott has been playing. I love the energy. I don't think the interceptions late were just kind of like, I think he was pressing. Obviously the George Pickens pick, I know he wants that back. You see him slamming something. I didn't have a problem with that. I think the issue that I now see is, and we talked about this, the team looks like it doesn't have any settle with them, right? Like they'll make a big play and then something goofy happens, right? The Javonte Williams fumble. Then they'll score a touchdown and, Brian Schottenheimer's going crazy, but it's like, hey, Brian, you still have a defense to – it feels like the team is disjointed, right? It feels like Brian runs the offense, Matt Eberflus runs the defense, and they don't talk about anything. They don't talk about any game plan changes. Like, they'll tell us that they do, but are they really? Zach, are they really going in and saying, hey, we need to make some serious adjustments here? It's 3rd and 2. Why are we 20 yards off the ball, both of our corners? It's 3rd and 5. We're not playing the sticks. We're not doing anything. What are we doing? You know what I mean? And then, Dak is also like a coach. So it feels like it's literally like 3 people coaching the team, Zach. And the team feels disjointed. And it showed today. Let's be honest. Caleb Williams was not playing great football. This team just got beat 52-21 by a Lions team that was trying to find their way. And by the way, they lost both their coordinators. But what did you do? You came into Chicago and got housed. This is a bad showing, Zach.
Yeah, Caleb Williams, this is the first game in his NFL career that he did not he didn't get sacked one time. We're talking about a guy that got sacked 58 times in his rookie year. I don't know if that's the exact number, but you can look it up. It was like 3rd most all time in the history in the Super Bowl era. He was the 3rd most sacked quarterback in his rookie season. He's been sacked a ton this year. Dallas couldn't get after him. And I think that's a really big problem too, is you look at it like Eberflus has a problem. He can't get home with 4, but he can't cover on the back end. Like, what do you really do? What is a realistic fix for that? You know, we can sit up here and say, okay, I would do this, this, and this. But really, is there a fix when you have guys that can't cover and you can't get home with 4? And even when you do sim pressure, guys still aren't getting home. The only blitz that I've seen work, and it actually has worked a couple of times, has been the nickel blitz with Stewart, or they did it with Diggs against the Eagles. Like, that worked a couple of times, but I just don't know. I feel super lost with this defense, with where they are giving up the big plays like they are. I don't know where you go from here. I guess the hope is you get guys back healthy. Overshown helps, but is it going to be too late by that point? Is this team going to be 500 at that point, you know, or is it even going to get better? So
I'd love to see Savon Ravel. I just don't think, I told you guys, man, I just didn't think that Diggs cared anymore. Don't think he could move anymore. I was called a hater. You know, I've been called everything in the book. But I think that when you moved Micah, you should have moved Diggs as well. Package deal, gone, bye. Because they're not helping you. Go through whatever struggles you have to, or make a play at corner. Go get a corner. Go trade for a corner. Give up. I would give up. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd give up my 2nd through 5th round pick for a top corner on the team. I've been looking at Cleveland's roster. There are a few other teams that have corners that they may not. But dog, Diggs made 1 tackle. He's out the game for a whole quarter. 1 tackle.
Yeah.
At least 25 was coming down and making and filling. Like we talked about that. And so I don't want to harp on that. And honestly, yes, Reddy Stewart not only looks like the best player in your secondary, he looks like the best player on your defense. Reddy Stewart is flying around, playing with energy, playing with heart, and you like to see that. The pass rush, non-existent. The Bears' run game, they didn't really try to attack you in that way. They had a few good runs. In the in that third quarter where they pretty much took up the whole third quarter. So in that quarter, it felt cool, but for the most part, like you said, just wasn't good enough, man. And the problem is this. The Joneses, I feel like they didn't trust themselves, right, Zach? Okay, so here's my thoughts. They weren't pleased with Diggs's rehab. They weren't. He goes and gets his own rehab done, right? Now, he's out there and he doesn't look healthy or he doesn't look ready to go. One of the two. Man, this was when Dallas should have made a move, Zach. If Rebel wasn't ready, this is when Dallas makes their move for somebody else. Because it's clear that either Eberflus doesn't trust the corners or they don't trust themselves. I don't know who's telling them to play this far off, but it just looks bad. And then people will say, hey, man, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, guys, oh, they should be playing press. How? He can't move and press. You just saw Malik Neighbors run past him all game. Come on, Zach. Like, am I crazy?
No, I think you hit it right on the head. It's like they can't do either. And when you can't play off, and you're still getting burnt deep, and you move up and you're getting burnt deep, or you are playing soft coverage past the sticks and you're giving up 7, 8, 9 yards with every single catch. That's what I'm saying with the defense, is it's not one thing that you can point at and be like, this is what we need to fix. Yeah, I think the corners are playing awful, but I also look at Eberflus and I'm like, well, what is he doing schematically to help these guys? But is there any help to be given? You know, like if Diggs does not look anything like the player we saw in 2021, running down the field, he cannot run stride for stride with a single wide receiver, loses his balance on one stab at Rome Odunze, and he's 10 yards past him. Like,
but then people will make excuses for that, Zach. Like, come on.
And there's not one. Diggs has not played good at all. And let me tell you, this is exactly why, and I fault Jerry Jones for a lot of things with not paying guys on time and not doing that. That Diggs contract is exactly why it's confirmation bias on why they shouldn't pay guys early. Because look look what happened. You pay him top 5 money, and he's playing like a bottom 5 cornerback. No joke.
Bro, but if you say something, I remember when he came back, and we've already dove in, so we'll just stay here, Zach. We're venting, and the numbers are good tonight, Zach, so maybe people want to hear us vent, Shout out to you guys checking in with us, man. Shout out to the super chats. We will make sure that we get it. You know what? Let's get to the supers right now. David J. Let me change this scene real quick so we can get to these supers. Because this is why me and Zach are here, guys. I mean, honestly, I feel awful about this, but I told Zach pre-stream, I said, this is why we do it, because we're fans. You guys are fans. We're getting this together. Diggs has been getting beat like he stole something. Thank you for the $5, Jay. He has, man. He really has. This feels like 2020 all over again, Jeff. It does. It doesn't feel great.
It really
You're
does.
right. Foots, we need a mock draft already, bro. I know. You know what? I was trying to hold off, and I've actually been peeking around Caleb Downs. Me and Zach will be hitting the Senior Bowl again, so we'll have it cover wall to wall. And you try not to get too excited because obviously, you see the Philly game and you're like, okay, this team has something. And then today happened, and it's just like not good enough. Y'all hang in. It's a long season. We don't have the horses on defense. 3 consistent player, Osa. Murray did play good early. Jack Sanborn, I could kind of do without. He's just not athletic enough. Took a few bad reads, but yeah. So anyway, Zach. All right. So when you talk about Diggs and you say the reason that I've been so hard on him, Zach, and we're down this road, so let's just finish the drive, is because he was paid to, like you said, he's paid to be a top 5 corner. Micah's no longer here. Who's the name on his defense? Right now it is Trayvon Diggs. That's who you would think can make a play. That's who you would think, even if he can't make a play, can guard somebody, can run with somebody. He can't do that. You know what I mean? For everybody who called out Donovan Wilson, I didn't think that. I mean, I had to go look back at the coverages. He wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible today. You know what I mean? Some of those busted coverages, I mean, the one in the back of the end zone, maybe that could be on him, but he also had a big breakup, so he tried to make a play. He's making every tackle. He's finishing games. He's throwing his body around. That's good. The defensive line, they're in the way, like they're trying to push the pocket, but now the edge pressure just isn't hitting Zach in any type of way. Like nobody's winning right now.
Yeah, and that super chat was perfect. I really just don't think they have the players on defense. Like you can rely on one or two things, and if you have both, you're really good. Talent, player talent, and coaching and scheme. And it just doesn't. It's so hard to tell with the guys that are playing, like Diggs. Like, was that man coverage call a good call? What happens on that play if Diggs doesn't fall down and get burnt by 15 yards? Like and it starts worrying Eberflus because it's like, okay, well, look, I did something different, but look at the result when I do something different. And we're just in a tough spot with where the defense is. And we can talk about the offense not scoring in the second half. And we mentioned it earlier with this team feeling disjointed between offense and defense, and Schottenheimer like keeping his cool when the defense isn't playing well and figuring things out there. But the offense just cannot afford to be perfect. Look at the Cardinals and 49ers game. They gave up 13 points. Like the 49ers won scoring 15, 16 points. Yeah. Like, do we think Dallas can win a game this year scoring 16 points?
No.
So, you know what's going to be fun, though? We'll go back to draft for a second. It is going to be fun having 2 first-round picks. I mean, you were at the Senior Bowl, and we're watching all of these guys. That will be fun, and we're going to talk about that for a long time. But defense just seems like it's all out of whack, and I don't know how you fix it.
Let's stay on the defense for a little bit longer, then we'll switch over to the offense. I agree. Like I said, I thought that Dak was fine today. When CD went out, the game plan kind of changes because you can't tell me that they would have scored more points with CD Lamb in the game. The way they cover you, Pickens kind of being the one, and early on you kind of saw the, not on the same page. Then Pickens had the great catch, but then you saw the low, like you saw the high, the low. You got the whole Pickens experience today. Yeah. But back to the defense. You know what I thought about, Zach? I wonder if Matt Eberflus and the secondary coach are in constant communication throughout the game. Now, I know Al let his guys do their thing as long as they were in the right coverage. But I wonder, are they in constant communication throughout the game, Zach?
Because the secondary looks confused.
Yeah.
A lot of these coverages, like guys are looking around, like who was that? Like who was supposed to be at like the play in the back of the end zone? Like Donovan Wilson, Malik Hooker, and I can't remember who else it was. They're all three looking at each other, wondering who messed that up. So I mean, that's a really good question.
Yeah, because what's the secondary coach's name? Is that the one with the weird hair? I don't even know his name.
I don't know his name either.
I miss Al Harris for sure.
Has Eberflus been in the booth the first 2 weeks?
No, he was downstairs.
He's been downstairs the entire time, because I noticed today on the broadcast they showed him on the field. I wasn't sure if he had moved up or down at all yet.
He's on the field for sure.
Hey, can we talk about this Super real quick? Because we were talking about it pre-show a little bit about Jake Ferguson.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about this one. Okay. So this is This is a good one. This is a great point.
Yeah.
Like, so, okay. Some of that I think is play calling. Okay, let's read the Super first. We paid Ferguson too early. Man has no athleticism and he can't break tackles. Poor man's Kelsey. So that is we said this like let's look at his line before I really
I was trying to pull it up.
Dump on him. Yeah, can you I think Ferguson, I don't know if he even had 100 yards receiving. Like
13 catches for 82. He had just over 6 yards per catch.
Literally empty calories. Like, and that's what I was saying. Like those dump offs, like the designed screens, man makes nobody miss. He has no juice after the catch. I don't know why he's being targeted so much. I mean, I get it. He's a safety valve, but I mean, like, bro, what are we doing?
Bro, we used to see Witten wiggle for 5, 7, 8 yards after the catch. And I think you're right about the play calling aspect. Like he's more of a safety valve in Brian Schottenheimer's offense than he was in like Mike McCarthy with the bootlegs. And then you throw it to Ferguson. He's got a little bit of room to move with play action and stuff. And he has a chance. But I mean, I don't think this year he's made the first tackler miss.
Bro, his break tackle was terrible.
I can't think of the injury though that slowed him down that bad. Like he had the one against the Browns in week 1 of last year, but that wasn't like some season ending, we're seeing him for the first time in 2025 thing. Dude, he used to break tackles. He was jumping over guys, spinning, running through tackles. Like, I don't know what happened with him either, but you're right. It's empty calories. It is not helping this offense because you're still at 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, because you're dumping it off 3 or 4 yards at a time. It's hurting this offense, if anything. I'm just saying, did you see Brevin Spanford barreling down the sideline? I know it didn't count, but dude was moving.
Juice. Better blocker. You know what I mean? But these are the things, and it's just like, at a point, I mean, I have to be patient with Shotty. It's one game. You know, the thing about it is because you have a 17-game season, I don't feel like you can throw a game, but you have games where it's just like, it's one game. But the problem is you look at your schedule, and we don't want to look too far ahead, but you look at your schedule, you got Green Bay coming down the pipe. You have some tough games. Like,
you don't have losses to burn.
No. Like not to a team like this. This was a team where you counted a win. And you look at Green Bay, then the Jets. Jets played a tough game today, could have won. Then the Panthers, then the Commanders. All 4 of those games are losable games. All 4 of those games you could easily lose. I look at the season in 4s or in 2s, whatever, in bunches. So I don't think you're going to beat Green Bay. I'm already preparing myself for that to be a loss. Even though they did lose today, they only scored 10 points. But against the Cowboys, they'll find their way. So that is chalked up as a loss. And then the Jets. I mean, the Jets, they'll probably play stout defense. And Justin Fields will have a day because he's playing our defense. And then the Panthers blew the Falcons out today. Blew them out. They didn't score a point. It was 30-0. And then the Commanders, and I'm pretty sure that Jaden Daniels will be healthy, running around like a wild man. So those next 4 games are not going to be easy, sir. And it's just like when you start thinking about this team, you're like, man, so something does need to happen. So now let's talk about the offense. And now I want to talk about Shoddy. The offense, Zach. What are your overall, where are you at? Because yes, we moved the ball, but at the end of the day, you score 14 points. Where are you at on this offense?
That it's really odd to me, because I think back to how the offense played. It does feel like they scored more than 14 points. Just watching the game, maybe it was because the defense was so bad that I'm just like hopeful that the offense, but it does feel like they played a pretty good game. Thinking about not having CD overall, I mean, it felt decent, but not having CD is obviously a big thing. Plans change when he goes down. Pickens has to move to the 1. Tolbert's getting a lot more snaps than you want. I thought Turpin was great, really, for what you asked him to do. That deep crosser that Dak hit him on, beautiful to get you down into the red zone. The offense at times doesn't lean on what it does best. I complained a ton about Mike McCarthy running the ball too much. Sometimes I feel like Shoddy needs to settle it down and run a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like on that red zone interception that Dak had. You have 5 yards, you're on 3rd down. Like, you have Javonte Williams, dude. He's averaging 6-7 yards per carry. Like,
Javonte Williams averaged 7 yards per carry and got 10 rushes. Can't happen.
And I know that
that cannot happen.
Playing bad, but also if you run the ball, you can keep them off the field. It wasn't a 3-score game until into the 4th quarter. Like, I know that you're giving up big plays at a rapid pace on defense, but at some point on offense, you got to keep those guys off the field a little bit. Maybe just throw the Bears out of rhythm. Maybe just give your guys a break. Let them breathe. Goes back to the disjointed conversation. Yeah. But I wish that Shoddy at times, maybe there's a big score, settle the game down a little bit with a run play or a couple run plays, especially if Williams is getting 7 a pop. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'll say this. When I saw CeeDee Lamb in the backfield, and nobody wanted CeeDee Lamb to get hurt. Nobody would have thought that CeeDee Lamb would have got hurt. But at the time that he called that run, I was just like, Shoddy, why? Like, that Javonte was knifing these guys in the run game. Knifing. They
want to tackle him.
They were bouncing off this guy, and you put CeeDee Lamb back there, and that's the part where I say, Shoddy, settle down, bro. Like, what are you doing? I get it, but and I know on the other side, hell, Ben Johnson is throwing trickery. Don't play that game, bro. Run the ball. Run the ball, Zach.
He's just a little too high strung at times, and people are commenting it too. You had 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Okay, you get down to the 1 yard line. What do? They get up to the line, they call the play, and they throw a fade ball to Pickens.
And Dak threw a terrible ball. It's like you didn't even give him a chance on that ball.
Exactly, and it just feels too high strung to where they're like, oh my gosh, run the 1 yard line. Fade ball to Pickens. Let's score. Like, settle it down a little bit, run the ball, like run it up the gut and get it over with. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. And I think that's a learning process for Shoddy.
Yeah.
And it's going to take him some time it's just like rookies where we say they got to let the game slow down a little bit. I think it's the same thing for him, but I am very, very encouraged by what I've seen offensively as far as the run game goes. There's some things in the passing game, not enough explosive plays outside of really Lamb and Pickens at times. But overall, I've really liked what I've seen from the offense.
You have, but it's that my only pushback, Zach, is they're not finishing. Like, last week didn't feel like you finished at times, and obviously you were in a shootout, so it needs to be complimentary football. And then, I mean, I go back to the Miles Sanders fumble against Philly. Like, you are moving the ball, but you need to finish, and maybe that's why he didn't. I just feel like you can look at Javonte Williams, and right now this offensive line is a better run blocking line than they are pass blocking.
Yes.
So that's easy to see. I think that we need to live in that world, Zach, a little bit more. Your offensive line is Tyler Smith and a bunch of dudes. That doesn't mean that these guys won't get better, but the more you ask Tyler Guyton to drop back, the more mistakes going to happen. Like he had one where he just lunged and I don't even think that was Montez Sweat because he was on Steele's side. He came free, had a free hit at that. Like those things are going to happen. You see what I'm saying? The more is, and so, hey, why don't we settle them down by just playing above the sticks? And I think that when they're in that rhythm, they're playing fine. But when they're not, you can see them. You can literally see them start to press, and now you're dumping it off to Ferguson, and again, CD is your juice player, so not having them out there, a lot of this went out the window. But I still believe you had enough to score more than 14 points even without CD Lamb. Like I'm not there. There's no excuse for this performance. There's excuses are gone. You brought in George Pickens to at least help if something is to happen to CD Lamb, right? And he helped at times, and then he hurt us at times with the pick. So offensively, it's just disjointed. And then again, head coach, breathe. Look at your call sheet. They don't want to tackle 33. They don't. I'm looking like, dog, do we got a prime Zeke back there? And I'm thinking to myself, this man's only 25. Feed him. I always tell this. I tell this to young coaches. He got to die on that field. And not literally and figuratively, but he got to die. If this kid don't take the ball out of his hands. And so that's one where I'm just like, it's tough, Zach, you know?
And I think it comes with the territory of having a rookie head coach, if you will. Like a guy that has waited so long for his opportunity, he gets in there now and things are just moving a little too fast. And it does come down to guys just making plays too. Like Dak throws a better fade ball to Pickens. Maybe he makes that catch. Pickens doesn't let it bounce off his hands, and that's not an interception. Javonte Williams holds on to it after a 27-yard run. Like all of those things are great if guys finish plays, like you said. So I think it's really just all these little bitty mistakes by everybody, by the coach, by the players, and they just start stacking up. Then defensively, things are going really wrong over there. So it just makes you get these games where it's 31-14 against a team that was not better than you. I just don't believe that. Especially the offense should have scored more than 14. This should have at least been a 28-31 game, but not finishing, killing them.
Yeah, I think the problem is that maybe what you just said is true, but right now, in this moment, this team just isn't what we thought, and that's sad that I have to come to that realization because there's the analyst in me and then there's the fan in me. And I think everybody has something that they're a fan of and you want to see do well. And the analyst part of me says you got to be realistic of where your team is. At this moment, what they're trying to work through, now the moral victory stuff is out the window. That was the Philly game was moral victories. This game is you got spanked by a bad team. You need to own that, look in the mirror, and come out here next week and be ready to play football. Because everybody wants to make it an offense versus the defense thing. It's the team. People have to realize you start doing stuff like that, you'll lose the team, and it will be a 3-win season, 6-win season, just brutal. The team will just explode. The locker room will do this, Zach. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Once you start making it an offensive defensive thing, it's going to do this. It's a team loss. Team. And so that's the part where it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, Zach.
It's a complete team loss because you can't win a lot of games giving up 31, and you're not going to win a lot of games scoring 14.
I agree.
So, and I agree with you on this team's not as talented as we might have thought.
Yeah.
Like coming into the year, losing CD really hurts. The defense is way worse than I expected. I think that unit is on a historically bad pace. Like if they keep doing what they're doing after giving up 450 to Russell Wilson and Caleb Williams, like the Bears just weren't good coming into this game. And this is a gut check.
Yeah, no,
Where do we go from here?
extreme.
You know, it could go really south, or maybe they pick themselves back up and we have a good game against Green Bay. I don't think we're all going to have a ton of hope, but it's possible. It's a gut check, that's for sure.
Zach, in closing, first of all, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We want to make this, like you said, this is our every week thing, good, bad, or ugly. We're going to be here with you. We're going to stay in the paint with you all. And it's tough. Like, I don't like when this team loses. I actually feel a lot better when I'm able to talk to you guys, talk to Zach. We just talk our way through it. This was a tough loss. I don't think that if it was closer, you made more of an effort, but you got beat by double digits versus a team who has no identity. None. 3%.
3 possessions.
Bad, Zach. I think what I want to see is, I don't want to hear a bunch of excuses. I don't want to hear Shotty come to the podium with a story. Now it's time to own it.
Yep.
That's where it has to be, right? Shotty, you still on a what's the word, Zach? He's still on a good graces with when you're in a safe space. What's the word I'm looking for, Zach? He's still on a trial, 90-day probational period with us, right? There we go. So he's Shotty, we don't want to fire you yet. You're on a great probational period, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Shotty, now I don't want to hear the rah-rah. I don't want to hear about how much you care about the players. Now, I want to hear you own that you just got spanked by a bad team. This team was 0-2. All right.
And got destroyed by Detroit last week. Destroyed.
Dog walk by Detroit.
Yep.
Dog walk. Cool. You're still on your honeymoon. Yeah, that's a good word. Thank you, Charles. Honeymoon? Cool. You're still kind of there. Now, we waking up, honeymoon over, we coming back. Now I smell your breath in the morning. Now I see that you leave your towel okay, Shotty, cool. Now it's time for you to be a head coach. Like I said, we didn't talk about this, Zach. We talked about this pre-show. And we're going a little overtime. We try to keep it at 30 minutes for watchability and listen back. Thank you guys for the super chats. We love you all. But me and Zach talked about this. It feels like, and maybe if we did say this, we'll just say it again. It feels like Shotty's running the offense, Eberflus is running the defense, and there's no. I think did I already say this, Zach, in stream? If I did, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
But now it just disjoints. So now I guess I'll say this again. Shotty, honeymoon over. Now I want you to run the team. Because you're not just an offensive coordinator, you're a head coach. If the defense is sorry, you jump on the headset and say, I want to play man right here. I'm going to take the fall. Run it.
Yep.
Run it. Love you, Matt. You work for me. My job is on the line. I have to answer these questions after the game. Run it. I don't like that. Run cover 6. Run it. My job's on the line here.
And it comes out in week throughout the week too.
Yeah.
Like, go into the office, go into the building and sit down with Matt Eberflus and talk to him.
Yeah, no.
Sit down, talk to him, like figure out what is going on, why guys are where they are. Like Shotty probably should have his own thoughts about the defense and what could be better, what offenses are going to be looking for. Go into the defensive room, talk to those guys, figure out what's going on, on the field, off the field, throughout the week, all of it. I think we had 2 more super chats if you wanted to hit those real quick for you.
Yeah, let's hit those supers. We love you guys, man. Here they go. I don't understand. Don't Cowboys fans complain about the front office waiting too late to pay players? Now it's too early.
So this is talking about my comment earlier. No, I was saying that Jerry Jones uses the Diggs contract as confirmation bias that this is why we don't do it. This is why we don't pay guys early, because look at what happened with the Diggs contract, this and that. And it makes sense. Yes, I think they should pay their star players early. I love the Diggs contract when it happened. But guess what? You missed on it. Sometimes you got to just cut your losses. You missed and you move on. right? But it just sucks because it does happen. You do pay some guys early. Seems like we're on that road with Ferguson right now, but it shouldn't scare you away from trying to pay guys early. And that's what I meant. I wasn't saying, wait, you shouldn't have paid Diggs.
Ladies and gentlemen,
contract was not bad. It was not bad. It is now in hindsight, but it was not bad at the time.
Go look at where Diggs is ranked at as a cornerback, guys. He is ranked like 109 out of whatever. He's literally like a bottom 5 corner in the NFL. This isn't me making stuff up. I don't hate him. He's not played up to what he's getting paid. And he's running around the country with his brother and doing all this stupid stuff. Man, give me a break, bro. I'm not anti-player. I don't care. I don't got to interview these guys. I'm not trying to be their friends. I don't care. He's not playing with heart. He's not playing how he should. He needs to be called out. If nobody else will do it, I'll do it. I hope somebody sends this to him. Play better, bro. Seriously. Here we go. The fact that these players think they can have the ability to celebrate on a BS play being made down there. I don't know. Hey, thank you for that super chat. I don't know who did that. I didn't even catch that. I don't know. Maybe you were talking about Brevin. I know Brevin was hype. But I mean, if it's Brevin, I feel him. Brevin, an undrafted guy, he's working harder than some of the guys that, I don't know for the life of me why Schoonmaker plays so many reps over Brevin Spann-Ford. It's clear Brevin Spann-Ford is a better player, but some of that may be politics, so is what it is. Yeah, so Zach, any closing remarks? Cowboys lose 31-14. Any closing remarks? You know what? I will say this. The positives of this game. I thought that Javonte Williams played outstanding. Even the fumble, I still think that he's a hammer. He's not the nail. I think that Tyler Booker has been really good. And I think that Booker has been everything you could ask for as like a first round pick. He hasn't gotten you killed. And I thought that Pickens outside of that drop was like, it's starting to look like how it should, and the drop happened and he had the explosion on the sideline. But so a few good things.
Yeah. And Stewart played good defensively. Yeah. Liked what I saw from him. That dude's physical. He'll come up, tackle, make a play. Like, you can blitz him. He's tall. Like, he's long, lanky. Yeah. Like, he can cover some space.
Internet hated on Zach, guys. What did you say, Zach?
We were this close. We were this close. The show was this close.
Making it without the internet hating on you. Yeah.
But I thought that early on, Shoddy and Clayton Adams had a good plan coming in as far as running the ball. Like, they knew how to attack the Bears defense. I think they panicked a little bit with giving up a bunch of points and stuff. But we're going to watch the All-22. I'm going to watch the game. Hopefully it's on NFL Pro here soon. If not in the morning. And then we're going to be back talking Cowboys, Packers, because that's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. The Packers scored 10 points today. If you saw a better showing from this defense, you would have hope. But the way the game got away from you, I don't think CeeDee Lamb's going to play. I think they're going to let him rest. They'll say, we'll have a game plan, blah, 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 blah. But CeeDee Lamb's not going to play. So just get ready for that. And so, yeah, you're going to have George Pickens and the gang be ready and pray on defense. But it's a winnable game because the Packers, and I kind of noticed this. When they played the Commanders, that they couldn't really run the ball that well, Zach. But and them losing Jaden Reed really hurts them. But the problem is you don't have that Browns defense. Carson Schwarzenegger, Myles Garrett, 2 great corners. I mean, they had the Packers in hell, but we don't have that on defense. We have corners playing 20 yards off, and these guys are just going to go sit down in zones. That's what's going to happen. And even in our zone defense, Jalen Johnson was a big piece for Matt Eberflus, a rangy corner who was smart, intelligent. You need a guy like Jordan Lewis in this defense. We don't have that. We have guys who you think they're man guys, and like Elam's a man guy, but he ain't. It really shows you much in man, and even when he's off, it's like, let me just run up, make a tackle. I'm never going to make a play on a ball. I'm never going to break a pass up. So it's just, the whole thing is just disjointed.
And I think that's where we were with Diggs. Like Diggs, before the knee injuries, he could make a play on the ball, in trail. He could bait somebody into throwing it and then get up ahead and pick it off. Actually explosive.
Yeah.
Now that he's lost that, you're seeing the mental part not clicking, and he can't make up for it with his athleticism. So,
no, for sure.
Eberflus is in a weird spot. Hopefully, Revel. I know there was a report
you're
that
praying.
he could be coming back and ready. So, hopefully, that's the case.
Yeah, you got to pray, and like you said, hope. But we're gonna break it all down. There was some good, and I'll talk about it on the channel. But at the end of the day, Cowboys lose to a bad Bears team. We got to call it like it is. You're not going to get all flowers from me or Zach. We got to call it like it is. So hopefully they can turn this thing around. It's still only 3 games. You're 1-2. If you were 0-3, you really feel bad going to this Packers game, but you're 1-2. The season isn't lost, but it doesn't look good right now. It's your boy Foots the King, as always. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Zach, we may have some big news breaking here soon.
Yes.
About another venture that we're doing once we get
we're gonna be talking some more Cowboys football, just like we are right now. I think some people know I've been working with Fansided. We're doing a podcast weekly over on their channel. They're just getting their multimedia stuff started up. You guys might have checked out their website. I know a lot of people visit that, Cowboys fans, but we're gonna get that hooked up. Me, Foots, over there on that channel, kind of get that going. So hey, man, I'm excited, dude.
I'm extremely excited, bro. We're not sleeping. We're working, Zach.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Hey, much love, Zach. We'll be back next week after the Packers game. Hopefully, it's not like 3:00 in the morning breaking it down.
I know.
No, rain stop it. What is it? Lightning or nothing like that. But
yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that was rough. Wait up, but you know what? If there's anything, we jump started the Bears season, so I guess we can be happy about that. All right, guys, it's your boy Foots the King. Love you guys, and we will talk to you guys next week. Peace.
See ya.